Hey, I hope you're not crying over your math homework right now. I'm Maggie, back with Math Savvy. We've been learning about taking derivatives, but sometimes you're going to have a function that's inside of another function, and that's when you need to use something called the chain rule if you want to take that big function's derivative. What the hell am I talking about?
Wow, Maggie, that's a really good question that you just did not answer at all while you were filming. Okay, so when do you use the chain rule? Notice here how in all of these parentheses, it's just x in it. Like only the x is being raised to the fourth power, only x is being square rooted. You're gonna have to use the chain rule when there is something else besides just x within these parentheses. So if there's x squared, if it's 2x, if it's 3x plus 4. So if there's anything besides just x within these parentheses, you're going to have to use the chain rule. So let's go over the steps for how to take a derivative using the chain rule.
How would we take the derivative of this? The chain rule has two steps, kind of. Step number one with using the chain rule is you want to take the derivative of the outside function first. So this fourth is like the outside function. So we're going to treat this like a normal x, and we're just going to take the derivative like normal. Stay with me. So how do we take the derivative? We bring this 4 out in front and subtract 1. So now that we've brought the 4 down, we subtract 1 from the exponent. But with the chain rule, we leave whatever is inside the same. So it's going to be 4 times the inside function to the third power. And the second step of the chain rule is to multiply this new thing by the derivative of the inside function. So this is the inside function, and its derivative would be 6x plus 4. So we multiply this by 6x plus 4. So this is going to be the derivative of this function here. So if you have a function being raised to a power of something, like in this case to the fourth, you're going to have to use a chain rule. There are a couple of other functions that you're also going to have to use a chain rule for. So let's do an example of one of those. All right, so this is another example. Sine is a function, but instead of it just being sine of x, we have a whole nother function inside where x normally is. So we know that we're going to have to use the chain rule if we're going to take this derivative. So the first step to take this derivative is to find the outside function and take the derivative of that. The outside function is what it sounds like. It's whatever's on the outside of the function. So this sine is on the outside. So first we have to take the derivative of sine, which is just cosine. Next step, kind of part of the first step of the chain rule, is we leave whatever is in parentheses the same. So this 10x cubed plus 3x squared is going to stay the same. Then the second step, the last step, is to multiply this derivative by the derivative of the inside function. So the derivative of the inside function is going to be 30x squared plus 6x. So this is going to be your answer. Okay, looks a little bit different, but it's the same steps as before. First, identify your outside function. In that case, this is going to be ln. So we're going to take the derivative of ln. The derivative of ln is equal to 1 over x. So with the chain rule, it's going to be 1 over, but remember we keep the inside function the same. So 1 over 3x squared. So for step 2, we take this and we multiply it by the derivative of the inside function. The derivative of the inside function is just 6x. So this is going to be the answer for the derivative of ln of 3x squared. But it can also be simplified to 2 over x if need be. Something to look out for chain rule is sometimes there's going to be more than one chain rule in a function. Bruh. And we're going to see that in this example. So let's take this derivative. All right, the outside function is this parentheses to the fifth. So we're going to deal with that first. We take the 5 down and subtract 1. 5. We leave the inside the same, so 5 times the inside function, and then we subtracted 1, giving us a 4. So now for step 2, we have to multiply this by the derivative of the inside function. So as we're taking the derivative, this is going to give us 15x to the fourth. And then we have to take the derivative of the sine. But here, this is another function where it has like an outside function and an inside function, meaning we need to use the chain rule again.
No,
so
God, please,
we're going to
no,
treat it the same as we
no,
have before.
No!
So we have to take the derivative of the
No!
outside function, in this case sine, cosine, then leave the inside the same, and then we have to multiply this by the derivative of the inside function. So multiply that by 2, and this would be your final answer. So kind of tricky, but you'll get the hang of it the more you see these kinds of problems. I've seen a lot of teachers ask this question on quizzes and homeworks and tests. They're like, okay, if f and g are two functions, what's the derivative of this? And it looks so scary, right? So even though there's no numbers, we're still going to treat it the same as we have been with all of these other problems that we've done. So first step, identify the outside function. F is on the outside, that's the outside function. So we have to take the derivative of that, f prime, and then leave the inside the same, so f prime of g of x. But then we need to multiply this thing by the derivative of the inside function, so times g prime of x. If you're still crying over your math homework, it's okay. I'm always available for tutoring at math-savvy.com, and it's gonna be okay. We will get through it together. Love you, bye.